Hey, it's me, Vicki Marie. Okay, so here I am feeling a little bit better this morning. How are you all feeling? I've got my ginger tea. I'm just drinking so much fluid, just trying to get this cold gone. But anyway, I slept well. Feel a little bit better this morning. I've actually, managed to at least get half decent, to actually appear on camera, which I couldn't have done last night. Okay, let me just put my little ticker up, say thank you to everybody. So yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching my videos. Please think about subscribing if you haven't done already, because that's free and that's a way you can help support my channel. Please remember to leave your fingerprint on the like button. Thank you to all of you who've liked my videos. And as always, a special thanks to those of you who've joined my channel. Membership is only $1.99 a month and it's cancelable anytime. We have a special members live every Thursday evening. And also you get access to the special emojis. And I just wanted to say thank you to everyone as well who's sent me a bought me a Kofi, sent me a super or PayPal me. But also I wanted to say thank you to people who email me. But I do get a lot of emails, so at the moment I would definitely, if you're a member, I will definitely answer your email. And I'm concentrating on the members' emails at the moment, but I am getting quite a heavy, and I'm not complaining. I like to get emails, and I like to get suggestions or links and things like that. But I haven't always got time to reply. That's all. Okay, so yeah, thank you for that. Let's get rid of that. Oh, I was supposed to take it off. Hang on. So next thing I want to do is light my candle. Now, actually, I need to upload a photo a minute on here because we're looking at a different case today. A case I don't know a lot about, to be perfectly honest. I don't know a lot about this case. I've sort of seen it going on in the periphery, but we've been concentrating. There's always so many cases, aren't there, to look at. One thing in the true crime world, you're never short of what case to look at. And this is a case that I have not looked at before at all. I've never mentioned before. So this is Karen Reed on the left, and she's coming up for trial. She's accused of murdering policeman John O'Keefe. So my candle that I'm lighting today is especially for John, but of course, as always, it's for anyone who's departed this earth, anyone who's missing, anyone who's lost in either the physical sense of the word or maybe just lost emotionally, going through problems in their lives. In other words, all of us, because, the candle is for all of us, because I think there's not many people who aren't going through some sort of trauma, if you like, one way or another. Life's a bit like that, isn't it? You get one thing sorted and something else tends to come up. You might have financial problems, you might have relationship problems, you might have problems with your children, you might have health problems, you might have mental health problems. So basically, the candle is always for all of us. But today is perhaps a bit especially for John O'Keefe, because he is the guy at the centre of this case who was murdered. He was definitely murdered. There's no doubt about that. But it seems to be, did Karen Reed have anything to do with it? Now, there's quite a few people who think she didn't. So, not everybody thinks she's guilty. So that's important to say. Okay, I'll just say hello to everybody before I get started proper. Hi, David. Oh, David was first this morning, Chumba. Hi, Chumba. Hi, Blank Faces. Oh, a lot of you up early. Michelle J, yes, you were gifted a membership by Misty. We did welcome you, I think, to the family on Thursday. Oh, yeah, it was Misty, Michelle, who gifted it for you. Yeah, so mum's membership. So get watching those members' videos while you've got the mum's while you've got the mum's membership. Okay, so now what sort of drawn my attention to it is because there's been not only the case itself, but there's been a lot of talk between YouTubers because hi Kelly, because of course our favorite or one of our favorite YouTubers, JLR, has gone absolutely a bit apeshit on this case, I think. And then that has led to it being talked about with other YouTubers, etc. And that's what's drawn my attention to it because I was thinking, why is he so passionate about it? I mean, obviously, if it's a murder, murder is a horrible thing, but, there are, uh, there's so many, aren't there? Why is JLR so incensed about this? Anyway, so I will be showing you a video of JLR's when he was at the court. I know he does like to go to the courthouses, and he does not only with this lady. I've seen him shouting out at other people, though I don't know if I've seen him shouting out at a man. I've seen him shouting out at Michelle, what was her name? Michelle Draconi or something in the Jennifer Doulos case. But I'm sure he would, I'm sure if he got a chance to shout out at Stephen Stearns or one of these other twonks, I'm sure he would. So, he likes to be boots on the ground. So anyway, this video is quite interesting because there's quite a lot of people supporting Karen, saying that she's innocent. So I thought, well, let's have a look at this case then. What's it all about? What's it all about? How did she come to be accused of murdering a policeman? And what I have seen even on how can I put it, like the people that are here at the trial in the video that we'll be watching later, Dolly Vision, that another YouTube channel, he described them as being released from the senior home for the day and like conspiracy nuts, and I don't know enough about it yet to make an opinion on that, but are they? Because I have seen on more, how can I put it, not just from people turning up at the courthouse, but from some of the news channels that I follow and the different journalists that I follow on Twitter. I have seen some of them saying that she might be innocent as well. So is she? Well, first of all, what is she accused of doing in the first place? And is it possible that she could be innocent? Oh, Michelle, I hope you're okay after your surgery. So let's have a look at a video, first of all, that gives us the timeline and tells us what happened in this case. Some of you may know about it already, and some of you, I certainly, oh, hang on, what happened there? Oh, the music's come back up. Hang on. Let me just turn the music up. I'm not sure why it came back on. I didn't press it. Why has it come back on? Right, I've got a bit of a problem here because I've no idea why the music is on whatsoever. Oh, I'm playing the wrong video. That's why. Right, hang on. Sorry. It's all great, this technology, until I forget what I'm doing with it. Okay, so we're looking at a timeline of the Karen Reed case and the story behind the high-profile Massachusetts murder trial. And honest to God, I knew nothing about this case at all. So I'm literally starting from the beginning with this case. But let me just read, before we watch the video, let's just read the timeline so we can find out what happened. So this is in Boston, and the high-profile Karen Reed murder trial in Massachusetts got underway on April the 16th. Reed is accused of killing her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, with her SUV. So she supposedly ran him over in 2022. Her defense argues that she's the victim of an elaborate cover-up and is being framed by a group of people that includes law enforcement. Yeah, so interesting. So the police are saying she did it, and her defense is saying that the police are conspiring to sort of stitch her up for it. So this all happened on January the 29th in 2022. Shortly after midnight, Karen Reid, John O'Keefe, and a group of friends went to the Waterfall Bar and Grill in Canton on the night of January the 28th. According to prosecutors, Reid consumed several alcoholic beverages. She drove O'Keefe to the home of Boston police officer Brian Albert. So she'd had a few drinks and then she drove to the house. That is where police said people from the bar were meeting back up. At 1 a.m., court documents later revealed that in the weeks before and even the hours leading up to the night out, text messages between Reid and O'Keefe, as well as voicemails, showed a strained relationship. Investigators said that around 1 a.m. on January the 29th, Reid allegedly left O'Keefe a voicemail. Well, I don't see how that can be allegedly. Either she did or she didn't. Have they got the voicemail or they haven't? You are an effing loser. F yourself. And John, I F in hate you. So there you go. So this is sounds like, they've had some sort of an argument. If those, like I say, you can't argue with a voicemail. I mean, the voicemail is either there or it isn't. I don't know how you could say that that's alleged. The voicemail has either been received, they've either got the voicemail or they haven't. But anyway. So it sounds like there was something going on. So that's at 1 a.m. But between 4 and 5 a.m., at 4:23, while heavy snow was falling, O'Keefe's niece called Jennifer McCabe, who is Brian Albert's sister-in-law and a friend of O'Keefe's. She said that Reid was distraught because O'Keefe had not come home and was not answering his cell phone. According to court documents, McCabe said she heard Reid screaming, "John didn't come home, we had a fight." Around 5 a.m., Reid called another woman whose husband was friends with John. Prosecutors alleged that Reid said while they searched, "What if he's dead? What if a plough hit him? I don't remember anything from last night. We drank so much, I don't remember anything." Well, I've got to say, if she drank so much, didn't remember anything, it's not a good sign, is it? So anyway, he was found dead. He was found dead outside a Canton home. 5:07, Reid, McCabe and the third woman went to look for John. Prosecutors said Reid mentioned to the women that she had a crack in her tail light and she wondered if she might have hit O'Keefe. At 5:07 a.m., I know with the way my mind's going, but of course everyone's innocent till they're proven guilty. At 5:07 a.m., a surveillance camera at O'Keefe's house shows her SUV coming extremely close to John's SUV in the driveway. Prosecutors say no tail light pieces were found in the driveway. Reid's defense argues the vehicle did strike the SUV, breaking the tail light and providing an explanation for damage to the SUV. 6 a.m. Around 6 a.m., Reid sees John lying in the snow outside Brian Albert's home. An emergency responder said that while she was hysterical and inconsolable, Reid repeatedly says, "I hit him, I hit him." The defense argues that one of the first responding officers from Canton Police gave false and deceptive testimony to the grand jury that would later indict Reid. That's interesting. Anyway, January the 29th, 2022, prosecutors and defense attorney defense attorneys agree that at some point in the morning, O'Keefe was killed, John was killed. Someone Googled, sorry, I've just got to do something. Someone Googled how horse long to die in the cold. The sides disagree on when the search was made. Prosecutors say the search happened at 6:23 a.m. and 6:24 a.m. after O'Keefe's body was found. The defense says a federal forensic expert determined the search was made at 2:27 a.m. before police were alerted that O'Keefe's body had been found. Well, you'd think that'd be pretty straightforward, really, wouldn't it? You know, they're looking for the time that the search was made for how long it takes for a body to die in the cold. How can that be so in doubt? That was it 2:27 a.m. or 6:23 a.m.? How can it be such a big difference in opinions there? Because obviously that is key, because if she searched how long does it take for a body to die in the cold before he was found, she knew he was out there in the cold and she was hoping he would die. Whereas if she searched it afterwards, so maybe she was thinking, oh God, how long was he lay out there dying? Then that's more a concern thing. Anyway, how did John O'Keefe die? January the 29th. Police say they found a broken cocktail glass and pieces of tail light at the scene. A forensic toxicologist estimated that Reed's blood alcohol content would have been around 0.13 to 29 around 12:45 a.m., more than the legal limit. January the 31st, an autopsy is completed on John. Prosecutors said the cause of the death was blunt impact injuries to the head and hypothermia. So maybe he wasn't killed when he was hit by the car, but he died then of hypothermia because he was left there. Is that what they're saying? They say the medical examiner did not find any obvious signs of an altercation or a fight. Anyway, she was then arrested, and on February the 2nd, she appeared in Stoughton District Court for the first time, pleading not guilty to manslaughter, motor vehicle homicide, and leaving the scene of a motor vehicle collision causing death. I don't remember this case at all. I really don't remember it. Anyway, there was a similar case in the UK, wasn't there? There was a woman who, a girl, I call her a girl, she was in her 20s, her and her boyfriend on a night out, and there was CCTV of her driving towards him not once but twice, and he died of his injuries, and she was convicted of murder. Anyway, June the 10th, 2022. Hi, Joanne. A Norfolk County grand jury indicts Karen Reed on charges of second-degree murder, manslaughter while operating under the influence of alcohol, and leaving the scene of personal injury and death. Reed is arraigned on the new charges on O'Keefe's death. She pleaded not guilty in Norfolk Superior Court in Dedham and was ordered held on $100,000 bail. Reed made bail and has been out on release ever since. So she's not been in prison, she's been on bail. However, her defense claims she was framed. So her defense attorneys, Alan Jackson and David Yannetti, allege that she was involved in a fight outside Brian Albert's home. They claim that John was beaten and his body was later dumped outside. So this is what her defense are claiming. It was actually, the people at the party that killed him. Jackson and Yannetti focused on wounds to John's arms, which they said showed he was attacked by Albert's dog during the fight. So he had bites on his arms, apparently. This is not just fishing. This is in Massachusetts, Joanne, Massachusetts in America. This is not just fishing, Jackson said during the May third hearing. We've got a fish on the hook. We just need the court to help us reel it in. Norfolk Assistant District Attorney Adam Lally argued that John never went in the home and added there is no evidence that Mr. O'Keefe was beaten and left for dead. So these are the marks that are supposedly on his arm. Well, it's photos, so I presume they are. I presume that's a real photo. Are they dog bites or are they scratches? I mean, what are they? Anyway, during a pre-trial hearing, Reed's attorneys laid out what they alleged to be a cover-up by law enforcement. So they're accusing the police. Certainly the Massachusetts State Police is involved. There are people that were in the house that are involved. Jackson said Brian Albert is involved. Jennifer McCabe is involved. The rest of the folks that were in that house, there's some level of involvement by all of them. Every single one of them. We're not going to rest until we get to the bottom of exactly who is behind this cover-up. No, they look like more like scratches to me. Or scrapes, you know, maybe like scrapes or scratches. They're not bites, are they? They're not dog bites. Dog bites don't really look like that, I don't think. But anyway, they'll decide that, I suppose, in the court. So following the dramatic hearing... Oh, hang on, sorry, I missed a bit. We're not going to rest until we get to the bottom of exactly who's behind this cover-up. Not only Karen Reed deserves this, John O'Keefe deserves this. And he has deserved this from moment one, and that's why they're not going to rest. Following the dramatic hearing, Reed spoke to the reporters for the first time. We all know who did it, we know, and we know who spearheaded this cover-up. You all know, Reed said on the courthouse steps. I tried to save his life. What? That's not what was said earlier. I tried to save his life at 6 a.m. I was covered in his blood. I was the only one trying to save his life. Now, when we look at this later, and especially the video with JLR, when JLR goes a little bit, Dolly Vision calls it hambone. He goes a little bit crackers over this. But she reminded me of Laurie Vallow, this woman. Anyway, you'll let me know what you think. So there's been battles over evidence on August the 1st. This is the judge, I believe, Beverly Canone, denied a prosecution request for a gag order. The Norfolk District Attorney's Office had asked for a gag order saying witnesses were being harassed. Yannetti countered by saying it's prosecutors who are controlling the narrative. August the 25th, the district attorney released a video statement slamming what he described as absolutely baseless harassment of witnesses in the case. Conspiracy theories are not evidence, Morrissey said. The idea that multiple police departments, EMTs, fire personnel, the medical examiner, and the prosecuting agency are joined in or taken in by a vast conspiracy should be seen for what it is, completely contrary to the evidence and a deliberate attempt to reassign guilt. Right, this is another weird thing. So why was Turtle Boy arrested? Well, I didn't even know who Turtle Boy was either. So Aidan Kearney, the blogger who operates the site Turtle Boy News, in October was arrested on charges of witness intimidation related to the Karen Reed case. Kearney had been covering the case for months, often recording himself confronting witnesses. His defense attorney told the judge that Kearney was exercising his First Amendment right. I tell you, all these amendments, all these, the American Constitution has got a lot to answer for. Anyway, December the 26th, a judge revoked his bail, admit new assault and battery charges, and he allegedly went to his ex-girlfriend's home. We're going to see him in a minute. I think he's there on the day that JLR confronts Karen Reed. He demanded to see her phone, then he shoved her during a confrontation. He remained in jail for nearly 2 months, but was later released on personal recognizance. God, this is another of those batshit crazy cases, isn't it? I think, is it because we get to know so much more of what happens in America, because you don't ever feel you get the cases that I see in the UK, etc. They're not so batshit crazy as these. I don't know. These cases are just, well, they're serious because they're talking about someone's life, but they just seem to go outrageous. Anyway, February the 22nd this year, in court filings, prosecutors said they have DNA evidence recovered from a broken tail light that implicates Reed in O'Keefe's death. They said the tail light is the same material from Reed's SUV, and the DNA matched O'Keefe's. John's. They also said broken tail light material was found on John's clothing. March the 12th, Reed's defense team said that a federal investigation into the case led to an FBI expert concluding that evidence does not support the theory that O'Keefe died after being hit by an SUV. He said the damage on the car was inconsistent with having made contact with John's body. In other words, the car didn't hit him and he wasn't hit by the car. So this is some FBI guy. An FBI expert. Anyway, prosecutors disagreed, accusing Reed's attorney of defense by obfuscation, which is defense by, what's a layman's term? Obfuscation is defense by just confusing everybody, isn't it? Just if you say enough confusing things, people don't know what the hell's going on in the end. Gaslighting, I suppose. Defense by gaslighting. March the 13th, in a brief statement, Massachusetts State Police said they have opened an internal investigation into a potential violation of department policy by Trooper Michael Proctor, who was the lead investigator in the case. Police did not say what prompted the investigation, but said he remains on full duty. Reed's defense attorney said the federal investigation showed Proctor hid personal ties to people involved in the case. And in a statement, Proctor's attorney, Michael DiStefano, denied any wrongdoing. Curiouser and curiouser. So Trooper Proctor has been fully cooperative in responding to the investigations conducted by the U.S. Attorney's Office and the Massachusetts State Police Internal Affairs Unit. DiStefano said, "To be clear, Trooper Proctor remains steadfast in the integrity of the work he performed investigating the death of Mr. John O'Keefe, to the extent that Trooper Proctor's personal text messages are alluded to in court proceedings regarding Miss Reed. He respectfully submits that the objective investigative steps he and the members of his unit took are in no way undermined by the content of the personal messages." And here she is arriving at the court. I think that might have been that same day. She's arriving for jury selection. I don't know what it is about her, but she does. She reminds me of Laurie Vallow. Anyway, then in March, her murder trial takes centre stage. Judge Canoni denied a defence motion to dismiss the case due to extensive evidence supporting the indictments. April the 12th, Canoni heard 30 different motions on which she had to rule, listening from arguments from both sides on many of them. Among them was an argument by Reed's attorneys that they should be able to make a third-party culprit defence during the trial. They say Brian Albert, Colin Albert and Brian Higgins, all of whom were present at the party John O'Keefe was at the night he died, could have killed O'Keefe. Prosecutor Lally called it a fanciful story, but told the judge there's actually no actual evidence. Now, the thing is, it is on the prosecution to prove it beyond reasonable doubt. So that's what the defence are trying to do, isn't it? Is create a reasonable doubt. And if they can create a reasonable doubt, then the verdict has to be not guilty, I suppose. Anyway, April the 16th, his second-degree murder trial began with a jury selection. 4 jurors were added on the first day. April the 17th, 7 more jurors added. And then April the 17th again, a third, that can't be a third day. That must be April the 18th. A third day of jury selection wrapped without a full jury. 2 more juries added. So, but one from a previous day was excused, so there was only 12. Anyway, the trial is scheduled to last 6 to 8 weeks once a jury is seated. So that's the background. That's the background to this story, which, as I say, I knew absolutely nothing about. Just looking at that, if I had to give an opinion, I'd probably say it sounds like she probably is guilty. But, she's not guilty till she's found guilty, is she, in a court of law? But I think the voicemails will have an impact, won't they, in the state of their relationship leading up to the incident. It also reminds me of the road rage. God, what was that woman called in the UK? Tracy, somebody murdered her partner, didn't she, and then blamed it on a road rage incident, that some guy in a road rage incident murdered her partner. But of course, when the police started investigating, they could see that Tracy and her partner had a very turbulent relationship, and they started looking at Tracy more as the perpetrator, and they actually found the knife that she murdered him with. They found it in the police station, I think in the toilet. When she was taken to the police station, she discarded the knife that she murdered her partner with. Anyway, she was found guilty, wasn't she, Tracy? Let's have a look for her name, because I can't remember her full name. Yeah, Tracy Andrews. Let's just have a look at that, actually. Do you remember that case? That was a similar one. Because look, she was all beat up, wasn't she? The road rage murderer. Let's have a look. This is her partner. Yeah, I can't remember the exact details of the case. But yeah, her fiance, Lee Raymond Dean Harvey. And she said it was a road rage incident. But of course it wasn't. It turned out it was her who murdered him after they'd had yet another argument. But it looked like he'd had a little go at her as well. I mean, it was a very, very tumultuous relationship. Anyway, she was found guilty. Just let me have a look. I wonder what is she out? Free? Has she been freed? Oh, she was freed for a shopping trip, apparently. Oh, God, don't even go there with the... What? Freed for a shopping trip? God, it drives you mad, doesn't it? Let me see if I can find out what her sentence was. Oh. She was released in July 2011. So despite lying, changing a story... Oh my God, so apparently she's changed her name to Tia Carter. She's altered her appearance, undergoing £5,000 of surgery through the National Health Service to change the shape of her jaw, and she's got married to somebody else. What? So when plans to release her were announced, a fellow female inmate and former prison lover of Andrews said that Andrews had continued to act possessively and aggressively in relationships while in prison, revealing that she had attacked and strangled her after seeing her speak with her ex-girlfriend. The woman said she was opposed to Andrew's release and warned she would kill again. Oh, God. Well, do you know what? I feel for his parents, because there you go. She's been out living the best life for the last 12, 13 years. Got married again, had her appearance changed on the National Health, not even had to pay for it herself. There you go. That's Tracy Andrews. That'll have made you nice and angry like it's made me angry. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I'll try and make the, yeah, I'll try and put a bigger photo up. Hang on. Let's see. Let me see. I don't know if I can make the photo bigger or not. Let's see. Yeah, see, she's got this funny sort of jaw. That's them in happier times. I mean, I think it was a very volatile relationship. I mean, she had black eyes and that. They'd been fighting. There's no doubt about it. I'm sure he'd had a good, he'd punched her and what have you. I'm not, saying he's some sort of angel. But the thing is, it just does seem... there she is. There you go. You can probably see that better, can you? It does seem that she literally has got away with murder, doesn't it? That was her when she appeared at the police press conference. So you can see she's got a black eye. Yeah, she had this very distinctive sort of mouth. So she's had that altered. If you live in the UK, that was your tax money that paid for that. You paid for having a murderer's jaw changed so that she could lead, a life where she wouldn't be known. The taxpayer paid for it. A wedding photo. Let's have a look. Well, I don't know about a wedding photo. Hang on. I don't know where a wedding photo is. I'm missing something. Oh, this is a new wedding photo, is it? Oh, there you go. Is that her? That's supposed to be her? Yeah, there she is. Poor guy. There you go. That's her. It's gone dark as well. Oh, I'm not sharing it. Hang on. There you go. There you go. So this is her getting married this time, yeah. There you go. So she had a happy ever after ending, didn't she? I mean, I just don't know how his parents must feel about it all. Yeah, there you go. I don't know if she's got children or not. So, is this the sort of thing that will happen to Karen Reid? Even if she gets found guilty, what sort of a sentence will she get? What sort of a sentence will she get? There's her husband. Oh yeah, she looks nice. Ooh. Living her best life. Well, I hope that guy, hope her ex-husband is haunting her, to be honest. Hope he is. Hope he is haunting her. I don't know if this is her daughter, or I don't know if she has children or not. And that was her then. You know, the thing is obviously this was an abusive relationship from both sides. She's got a massive black eye there. But the thing is, it's not so much even for what she did, it's the lies that she told afterwards. She tried to cover it up. She tried to blame some non-existent person. That's, you know, that's the worst thing. If she, you know, that they've obviously had this very, very volatile relationship. He was punching her. She could have perhaps have even claimed self-defense, but 42 times though she stabbed him. That's, you know, don't need to stab someone 42 times, as we probably all know, all of you that watch true crime. That's called overkill, isn't it? You know, one stab is enough normally, but maybe 2 or 3, but 42 times, that is like sheer batshit anger, isn't it? Rage. Fueled by alcohol, no doubt. Maybe even some drugs as well, who knows? But it's okay. She's okay now. She's having a great time. Good God. Cornwall. So watch out, Cornwall, for this woman. Don't cut her up at the lights. You know, definitely. You see this woman driving around, just keep a massive distance from her. Oh, let's have a look at the interview.
He's ruined my life. He's ruined the life of Maureen and Ray.
If I was going to give an...
So that was that was his parents there.
Keep your mind.
Oh, where's it gone? But I do hate it when it does this. Just flicks onto another video.
He's ruined my life. He's ruined the life of Maureen and Ray.
If I was going to give an Oscar to, you know, the best criminal acting performance, then I think I'd give it to Andrews, because she comes on and she is, to all the world, the epitome of a woman who is, you know, battered, broken, and in a terrible state.
Please, just tell us who he is, because you won't get in any trouble at all. It was not your fault.
What you find is, throughout the press conference, she seems to grow in confidence. And it's actually...
So she sat there holding the hand of the guy's mum. The guy she's murdered, she's holding his mum's hand.
That confident performance that is incongruent with what she wants to portray herself as, which is obviously the victim. So the growing level of, oh, actually, I'm doing a really good job of this, I'm being plausible, I'm getting away with this, is what is her ultimate downfall.
Tried to stop the bleeding. Really?
I tried to stop the bleeding, really. And we've got 6 indicators around that simple phrase that make us suspicious about whether that's what really happened. She qualifies.
We just move on to her actually talking, because they do get you for copyright for these programs. I just want to see her actually speaking.
Single-sided shoulder shrugs are usually beyond consciousness. People don't know they're doing it. And that's why it's a reliable indicator of deception. We hear a volume drop. She swallows hard. She pauses and the pitch goes up. Let's have a listen to that again.
Tried to stop the bleeding, really?
So 6 indicators, all within 3-4 seconds, which totally contradict making that she tried.
Saw Tracy Andrews' imitation of the starry-eyed attacker as a sign she herself was capable of rage. But studying her closely today, our experts say that was wrong.
So this is a clip from the press conference with Tracy Andrews.
It's just the way he looked. His eyes was.
Some commentators have described this as anger. They've said she looks capable of anger and aggression, but that's a misinterpretation, because in anger we don't see the eyes so wide. In anger we see brows down and the eyes tighter against the eyeballs, because she's imitating the eyes that she saw. It's emphasizing the speech and it fits with the story, so it's consistent.
Yeah.
He's ruined my.
So there you go. That is the story of Tracy Andrews, and we can see there's a resonance, isn't there, in this case? You know, when people get so angry, volatile relationships are always just one step away from murder, aren't they? You know, if they're in their relationships going from, you know, them hitting, he's obviously hit Tracy, Tracy's probably hit him, you know, there seems like there's a lot of alcohol, they consume a lot of alcohol, they're out the pub. This relationship of Karen Reid and John O'Keefe seems like it was similar. Certainly that night, wasn't it? She was drinking, even though she was driving. She'd had quite a lot to drink. And, you know, from the text messages leading up to the incident, it seems like they did have a very volatile relationship. So it's not good, is it, basically? Okay, so now we're going to see. So all this was going on, and JLR decided he was going to go to, you know, the trial, one of the trial appearances that she had to make, and this is the video that resulted. And I don't think I've ever seen JLR so angry about something. You know, I mean, he does get angry and he does challenge people. But I always think of him as always being very respectful. But he seemed very angry here, JLR. But anyway, I'm not quite sure why. No, angrier than normal. You know, these small towns, well, I don't know if it's a small town or not, but that church there, this reminds me of that film, The House of Wax. I don't know if you've ever seen it. These American towns, you know, the colonial, I don't know if it is colonial, but the type of architecture.
Hey, Karen, are you prepared to?
Now, he's straight there as she gets out of the car. The first thing I want to say is, whose car is that? You know, who's chauffeur driving her to the trial? Is that what the court do? Who is? It's like it's not a limousine, obviously, but she's been chauffeur driven there. Whose car is that, and who has chauffeur driven her there? Has she paid for that herself, or does the court pay for that? Seems odd to me. She's arriving like she's arriving at the Hollywood, at the Oscars or something.
To spend the rest of your life in prison, Karen? How's it feel to be known as a cop killer, Karen?
A taxi? Is that a taxi? Where's the taxi sign? Are taxis that posh in Massachusetts then? If you got a taxi here in Spain, or you wouldn't get a taxi like that.
How does it feel to be known as a cop killer? You're going to prison, aren't you? Right? Do you have any remorse, Karen, for what you did to the O'Keefe family? Do you have any remorse, Karen, for what you did to the O'Keefe family, huh? Will you denounce your supporters harassing the O'Keefe family? Will you denounce your reporters harassing the O'Keefe family, Karen? Shame on you, Karen. That's what people say. Karen.
Do you see what I mean? I don't think I've ever seen JLR get quite as aerated as that. Anyway, she's just ignoring him, which of course she would. But the thing is, yeah, the one thing I agree, David, he's talking to her as if she is guilty, and she has not been found guilty yet. So this is the sort of thing maybe to shout at her afterwards, but not really now.
Anything to say, Karen? You're going to spend the rest of your life in prison. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Karen, you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison, ain't you, Karen? Yeah, you are, Karen. Karen, you are, aren't you?
And she seems to have this sort of army of, well, they're calling them elderly, him and Dolly Vision anyway, saying they was, I wouldn't say they're elderly, but, you know, they're not young. She's got this sort of army of supporters, or a few good few supporters anyway, who are like turning on JLR. But as David said, she is not guilty, so we shouldn't really be calling her a cop killer just yet.
Karen, you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison.
Come on, do it, will you? Come on, do it.
Right, Karen? How does it feel to be known as a cop killer, Karen? How does it feel to be known as a cop?
Now, do you see what I'm saying? Why is he so... well, one, you can't call her a cop killer until she's been convicted. But also, I'm not quite sure why he's so vehement, because JLR deals with true crime every day like we do, you know, and you... out of all the cases that you might come across, there's a lot worse than this. I just, you know, and surely he should know. I've seen him interview people and be as calm as anything. So I'm just not quite sure why he's so angry with this woman.
Killer, Karen. How does it feel to be known as a cop killer, Karen? How does it know? How's it feel, Karen? How's it feel? How's it feel, Karen?
There's a lot of pink going on here. I don't know if they were supposed to wear pink, if that's some sign of being a supporter, but there's a lot of people wearing pink.
How's it feel? Move out of my way. Hey, Karen, how does it feel to be...
Even that little dog had a pink jumper on. Didn't it? Let's have a look. Is it coincidence or... Look, this lady's got pink leggings on. The dog's got a pink jumper on. There's a lot of pink going on. So whether that's deliberate or not, I'm not sure.
Hey, Karen, how does it feel to be a cop killer, Karen? How does it feel to be a cop killer? You're going to prison, Karen, aren't you? How's it...
He's got a pink thing here around his microphone. God, I tell you what, only in America. I just think these scenes, I don't think you would see them in the UK, would you? I don't know. Well, I don't think you would see somebody calling somebody a cop killer or a... I mean, we do see, because normally, no, that's when people are in prison, isn't it? You know, we've seen people arrive at prison in a police van, and then as they're getting out, people are banging on the van. But that's normally people that have been arrested, not people that are out on bail. Just took me aback, this, because I have never seen JLR so angry, to be honest, or not that I remember.
How does it feel to be a cop killer, Karen? How does it feel to be a cop killer, Karen? Shame on you for what you did to the Keefe family. Shame on you, Karen. Oh, sorry.
Oops, fucker.
Oops, yeah.
Oops, fucker, she said. Oops, fucker. Yeah, pink's definitely a thing. They've got pink ribbons on. They've got pink bits and pieces on. Now, I did see JLR get angry at the border. You know, he does these border things, which I don't like, those migrant control things that he does. He did get annoyed with a woman there at the border. See, quite a lot of these men, you know, they get annoyed with the women. You wouldn't see them talking to the men like that. But she was called Karen as well, because he was calling her Karen. You know, that like, oh God, you know, anyone who's actually called Karen, I feel sorry for him these days, because of course the names sort of become synonymous with not good things. But this woman is actually called Karen. And then the woman at the border control thing, it turns out she was actually called Karen as well. He had a little bit of a go at her, but nothing like this. I mean, yeah, he's very, maybe he's had a bad day, I don't know.
Have a great day, sir. God bless you guys. Karen Reed is guilty, right?
He is, huh?
You think so?
Yeah, you need help.
You think?
You need help.
Look at this. We need help. Look at this. Look at this.
Let's go back fight.
Cop. So these are Karen Reed supporter nuts. And Karen Reed's guilty, don't you think? I do.
No.
I do.
What did he call them? Some border nuts. Let's put these subtitles on so we can hear what he's saying. Karen Reed supporter nuts.
And Karen Reed's guilty, don't you think? I do.
No.
I do. I think she's guilty.
Really?
Don't you feel she's guilty?
Sounds like Sandra committed suicide when you say shit like that.
Have a great day, ma'am. Take care.
Justice for Sandra Birchmore.
Have a great day. Here's Tom DeRosier. How's your mom, Nancy?
I don't know what his point was there. Who's Nancy DeRosier and Tom DeRosier? But he seemed to make a comment about that. Yeah, very strange of JLR. I personally think I've not seen him get annoyed like this. And as someone was saying, yeah, I mean, she hasn't been found guilty yet. So if she gets found guilty, she probably is going to sue. But don't forget, JLR, he's in the Guinness Book of Records as suing the most people ever. And of course, he did sue his own mother for not bringing him up right. Successfully.
Sunshine compared to this loser.
Well, no, that's the one that's sort of cold.
Oh, where's he going? Oh, I thought. Let's just watch it one more time. I thought he was going back there then. I still love JLR. It won't, you know, I like his videos and he's a good citizen sleuth, or what does he call himself? A gonzo journalist or whatever, you know, he's good. He does the boots on the ground and everything. But just really surprised me this, why he was so vehement.
Hey, Karen, are you prepared to spend the rest of your life in prison, Karen? How's it feel to be known as a cop killer, Karen? How does it feel to be known as a cop killer? You're going to prison.
Yeah, JLR was in prison. He's very open about it. It was I think it was fraud. He was in prison for quite a while. He had long curly hair then. But he's very open about it. He's talked about it. He doesn't try and hide it. It wasn't murder, of course, you know, but just don't all I would say here is I just don't understand why JLR is so angry about this more than anything I've ever seen him angry about.
Prison, aren't you? Right? Do you have any remorse, Karen, for what you did to the O'Keefe family? Do you have any remorse, Karen, for what you did to the O'Keefe family, huh? Will you denounce your supporters harassing the Keefe family? Will you denounce your reporters harassing the O'Keefe family, Karen? Shame on you, Karen. That's what people say. Karen, anything to say, Karen? You're going to spend the rest of your life in prison. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Karen, you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison, ain't you, Karen? Yeah, you are, Karen. Karen, you...
It's like something off The Walking Dead, isn't it? They're all following behind him. He's, you know, if you've ever watched The Walking Dead when they're escaping from the zombies, that's what it reminds me of. He's walking away and they're just, you know, sort of running after him, but not running, just walking fast after him, all in their pink.
You are, aren't you? Karen, you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison.
Come on, do you? Come on, do
Right, Karen? How does it feel to be known as a cop killer, Karen? How does it feel to be known as a cop killer, Karen? How does it feel to be known as a cop killer, Karen? How does it know? How's it feel, Karen? How's it feel? How's it feel, Karen? How's it feel? Move out of my way.
Now, there's a lot of police there and they're allowing it to happen. But I suppose if they think she's a cop killer, they won't be very happy with her either. But I'm surprised that to be honest, that the police didn't do anything at all. But I suppose they won't be happy with her. If they think she killed a policeman, then they're not going to be happy with her.
Hey, Karen, how does it feel to be a cop killer, Karen? How does it feel to be a cop killer? You're going to prison, Karen, aren't
Yes, Tumblr, yeah, that is JLR who's shouting all the way through it.
you? How does it feel to be a cop killer, Karen? How does it feel to be a cop killer, Karen? Shame on you for what you did to the Keefe family. Shame on you, Karen. Oh, sorry.
Oops, fucker.
Oops. Yeah.
The boy gets arrested for the shit.
Have a great day, sir. God bless you guys. Karen Reed is guilty, right?
He is, huh?
You think so?
Yeah, you need help.
You think?
You need help.
Look at this. We need help.
All right.
Look at this. Look at this.
Let's go back fight.
Cop. So these are Karen Reed supporter nuts. And Karen Reed's guilty, don't you think? I do. I do. I think she's guilty. Don't you feel she's guilty?
Well, he's really, really angry. You can see it. You know, he's practically breathless with his anger. He could hardly get the words out. I've never seen him like that before. But, yeah, for some reason, this has really, really made him angry.
Sounds like Sandra committed suicide when you say shit like that.
Have a great day, ma'am. Take care.
Justice for Sandra Birchwell.
Have a great day. Here's Tom DeRosier. How's your mom, Nancy?
Your sunshine compared to this loser.
Well, no, that's the one. It's a little cold.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought I'd show you that because apparently, I mean, obviously a lot of YouTubers have talked about it. JLR's left the video up, so he's obviously not, you know, wanting to hide it or anything. And yeah, what do you think? So let me know. I know yous that are on here in the chat. You're all letting me know what you think. But for those of you watching the replay crew that are watching later, let me know what you think. Do you think that was right? Shouting that she was a cop killer before she's actually been tried, even if it does look as if that she, you know, maybe probably she's guilty, probably. But of course, you know, people are innocent till they're proven guilty, everybody. So, yeah, it was over the top. I don't know why it was almost personal, you know, because it's not like JLR to be so personal like that. So anyway, so we'll be following. That's another case I'll be following. There you go, another batshit crazy case. You know, was it Karen Reed who ran over John O'Keefe, or was it some conspiracy by the policemen that were in the party, and you know, he was beaten up and murdered by them, and then they're trying to put it on Karen Reed? That's what the jury's got to decide. That's what the jury's got to work out. Was it Karen Reed who ran him over in that road race, which we know that people are capable of, even women? Everybody's capable of these things. Is that what Karen Reed did? Or is she a victim of a conspiracy by the police? Anyway, I mean, I do believe that she most likely is guilty, but then, you know, when she's been brought out after being found guilty, then I think JLR, you should go back and shout those things again, but probably wasn't really a thing to shout before she was found guilty, was it? Okay, so I'm going to put my ticker on, because just say thank you, because I'm going in a minute. I will be back later. I'm going to be looking at the Sebastian Rogers vigil and some other videos and bits and pieces of news about Sebastian. The biggest news of, you know, actually finding out what's happened to him, still, as to the date, to the moment of making this video, has not come out, but something may come out. You never know as the day goes on. Even thing is, these things that can change at any moment, can't they? I remember it with Madeline Kingsbury. You know, it was like they were looking for a body for so long, and you know, I was covering it every now and again, and then I was, you know, you sort of run out of things to say in the end because you're thinking, God, they're never going to find this woman, because the search area was just so big where they were looking for Madeline Kingsbury. She could have been anywhere in really difficult terrain, a bit like Samantha Murphy type places. And anyway, they did find her, just suddenly, bump, like that. So just when everybody had given up hope. So we can't give up hope that Sebastian will be found, but hopefully alive, hopefully not in the same circumstances as Madeline. But, you know, that's all we can do. Hope, pray. Okay. So remember to live and love wisely, carefully. I'll see you later in the next video. And until then, may your God always go with you. Thank you. Bye.